Okay, awesome. Cool. Let's get started. So we have Moritz here, and it's a real pleasure for me to get to interview Moritz today, who's building some really cool stuff in Asset Management 3.0. So before we get started, maybe we can just do a couple of quick intros. Moritz, why don't you kick off and just introduce your background and how you got into Web3 and what you were doing before and what you're doing right now with Real Vision Bot, which I think is super exciting.
Yeah, thank you, Mona. Getting into Web3 by, I think, pure happenstance, to be quite honest. I mean, my background, as you know, is in derivatives trading and, traditional finance for many, many years, quant trading and hedge funds. And then crypto came along. I think it infected all of us. So many opportunities, just fascinating to see all these developments. And Moritz, my business partner, and I, we started to tie in more closely with Real Vision, with Raul and the exchange team and the entire team at Real Vision, really. We have a website that's called quants.com. And that was supposed to be essentially a financial blog looking at quantitative trading strategies. But over time, it developed, well, to be honest, the bot that we have, the Real Vision bot, became the superstar. And I think we need to start thinking about renaming the website from 2 Quants to 3 Quants in order to not annoy the little bugger because he's not mentioned properly. And this bot is really fascinating because it started as a research project where we linked it up with the Real Vision Exchange to run paper portfolios based on weekly surveys, where what we wanted to find out is if there is kind of like a Real Vision hive mind that can beat the markets and that can also beat the interviewees, the professionals that are interviewed on the Real Vision platform. And so as it turns out, there is a hive mind crypto portfolio that's far ahead of the bot run crypto portfolio and the experts and the market. And then there's a macro portfolio that also includes traditional assets, so off-chain assets such as the S&P and NASDAQ and, the dollar index. And here we see the same thing. The hive mind really beats the bot and the market. So this. So
wait, I just want to, stop right there. Yeah. So first of all, I want to unpick a couple of things here. You talk about these paper-led, kind of investment questionnaires where you ask people from the Real Vision community to tell you what's going to happen next, essentially. Who are these people? Are they Real Vision subscribers? Are they the speakers? Are they a mixture of both? And do you assign the same weight to each of their opinions?
Yeah, they all get the same weight, and I think they're from all of the above. We don't actually know where they're from. I think a lot of them come from the Real Vision Exchange. That is where we had kind of like the first touch points. But we're promoting it on Twitter, and really I think they come from everywhere. And that's the idea of the thing, right? I mean, we want to have that community as large as possible and to have the hive mind as large as possible in order to get a big sample size.
And how many people are contributing to the hive mind at the moment?
Thousands. I mean, it's growing by the day. So it's not millions. I mean, we need to stay realistic here, but it's a few thousand that participate on an ongoing basis. So it's something. It's more than nothing. But we run it since a year now. So it's not only like a 2-week track record, and the outperformance is significant.
Okay, that was the second thing I wanted to unpick. Talk to us a little bit about the performance. What do you benchmark it against? What has it been like, and how much have you outperformed by?
Yeah, so the crypto portfolio is benchmarked against an equally weighted basket of the top 20 tokens and coins by market cap. And that's the asset universe we allow the participants to select from. So it's all known in advance. And the outperformance is about 20%. So the hive mind is up 60%, roughly, give or take, since start. As you know, crypto is volatile. That could be 55% now as we speak. It could be 65% by the time we end that conversation. But they're about 20% ahead of the benchmark, which is pretty cool.
That's amazing. And so what has the volatility been like? Is it continuous outperformance? Is it some weeks or some environments perform better than others, or is the hive mind just continuously beating?
I mean, it does have its periods of underperformance, but since start, it's never really been in a larger drawdown than the benchmark. So it's kind of like consistently above the benchmark. And the people, they select a basket of assets. So it's kind of like, right now, let me see. I have it here. It's They're 24% in, let me see, 24% in Bitcoin, and Solana is there, and Solana is quite big, and Axes. I mean, there's a lot of things in there. It's always diversified. So I'm not saying that it's beating like a pure allocation to ETH or to Bitcoin. If that were the benchmark, then it'll surely underperform against those. It's a more diversified approach.
Interesting. That's super exciting. And do you have any sense for whether it's the same people constantly providing alpha, or is it literally just quite random?
No, that I don't know. We average that all out, so we don't know the identities. And that also, like, it brings me to the next idea, where we want to go with that Real Vision bot, because this is kind of like, say phase 1.0 where we are today. But really the end goal here is to have a DAO, and the DAO to run it all and to own it all, and to have a pure Real Vision Hive Mind DAO that runs these portfolios. And the question is, how do we get from where we are today to where we want to be, using the technology that's available to us, but also, there's development costs and funding costs and time and capital that needs to be spent in order to achieve that goal. And so the way we go about this is, we turbocharged the bot. And what the bot is now doing, the bot is minting an ape every day. There's Real Vision interviews on the platform, and those apes are sold on OpenSea for Ethereum, and that's actually fascinating how well that works. And we're using that money. I'll go into all the details on how that will pan out and become a portfolio and for people to participate. But we're using that money in order to develop the future Hive Mind technology and put it onto a platform such as Enzyme, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit as well. But it's kind of like a step-by-step project in order to get there.
That's amazing, because from what I understand, this kind of started as a pet project, side project, and it's kind of turned into something much more as you've achieved more and more data points, and proven your case, had your track record. You've seen a lot of interest. You're at thousands of people now inputting data into your algorithm. So talk to us a little bit about what's next. I mean, maybe just for a little bit of context, Moritz and I first met when he came and approached me about Enzyme. So I've been working on the Enzyme protocol, which is a decentralized asset management protocol now for nearly 6 years. And I was very excited when Moritz and his team approached me recently to discuss what a bot, or what a DAO plus a bot running these kind of strategies would look like on Enzyme. And I know it's a little bit early to discuss that, but you touched briefly on where you want to go next. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what comes after phase 1, other than transitioning this into a DAO? What does phase 3 look like?
Yeah, I mean, so right now it's fairly simple. So what the bot is doing, the bot is an artificial intelligence, and it runs through the interview transcripts of all the interviews that happen on the Real Vision platform on any given day. And we run it for a year. So that's about 250 business days, give or take. And every day there is an interview or a number N of interviews happening on the platform. There will be one ape minted. We call them the big apes or the Genesis apes. There's only ever going to be 250 of them, no more. And what the bot is doing, the bot is running through the emotions that it detects when analyzing those interviews. So by the way, Mona, this interview here is going to be part of the analysis today. So the nicer we are, see, you're laughing, this is good. So probably the color of that, it's going to be a happy ape today. But if, sometimes you have these days, like, let's say, before Thanksgiving when the market tanked, and then there's a lot of anxiety in those interviews, and, people go, maybe they use swear words, or they say, I've lost a lot of money in Bitcoin, I've lost a lot of money in the S&P and this, that, and the other thing, and VIX. And then, the background image of that ape becomes darker. And, but if we behave and we're all bullish, then it's going to be a bright ape today. So this is one of 250. And they're sold for ETH, and we're using that money to, develop the next steps. Now, before the last ape is minted, so probably within the next month or 6 weeks, we will be dropping ape links. So those are baby apes. And those baby apes are important because the majority of those baby apes will go to big ape holders, and then there's an allocation that goes to the free market. And the revenue from that sale, that is actually going to be the seed capital for the actual hive mind trading project. And every ape holder, big ape holder and small ape holder, they will have a right to participate in future management and performance fees from that project. So they, I think, will be pretty valuable. And then at some point, the Real Vision bot will really, there will be a foundation. The bot will step into the background, really get completely out of it, and the DAO takes over. And that's when the fun starts, because that's when we'll actually see how the hive mind performs in a DAO infrastructure without anyone controlling it, anyone steering it, anyone centralized influencing it for the first time. I think this is super cool.
So what about the big apes? Do they have a utility, or is it just a collectible item? So you're saying there's a month left for people like me who don't currently own a big ape. We have about a month, maybe 25 days, work days left to be able to mint one of these.
No, you'll have more. We're now at ape number 72. There's going to be 250. Okay. So it'll run until the next summer.
Okay, interesting.
So there's more time, but there's only ever going to be 250.
But I can literally, right now, I'm influencing what the next ape will look and feel like.
You and I are influencing ape number 73.
Gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah, it's ape number 73. You and I are influencing,
and
they're all funny guys. So you'll see that guy probably tomorrow on OpenSea. But the ape links will be dropped a little sooner, and every large ape holder, Genesis ape holder, we call them, until summer next year, will receive their proportional allocation of ape links. Which, by the way, I should mention that we're collaborating with a really cool NFT design team. It's called NFT Design Works, who are based not that far away, I think, from where you are in Davos in Switzerland. And they have all these crazy ideas in the NFT space, which is in and by itself an amazing industry. And how that develops is just fascinating to see. So what's so funny is, I think that also goes for you, is you come from these traditional finance backgrounds, and you run on a trading desk, you trade derivatives and hedge funds and these type of things, and then crypto comes along and it consumes more and more bandwidth, but it's so much fun, and everything runs at warp speed, really. I sometimes feel, I must admit, a little bit stressed out and feeling left behind, because everything is moving so quickly that I think that I'm unable to really, follow all these developments. So I'm feeling left behind.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to like and subscribe for more crypto-related content. Also, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto.